here I am at my favorite place, Lake Michigan. This is called Silver Beach in St. Joseph, Michigan. And I'm about to spend the day snorkeling. I bought this little underwater camera last year and have yet to have a good day to really test it. Lake Michigan is usually pretty murky, but for the past 3 days it's been crystal clear, like Caribbean clear. So we're gonna have some fun. That pier you see off in the distance runs along the St. Joe River. That's my favorite spot to swim. That's got all the rocks and the fish. Not that there's much to see in the way of fish. They're all pretty dull. But it's better than looking at sand. Now pan to the left. Lots of lake. In the other direction, facing south, we've got a lot of really expensive homes. And down at the end, there's like a rocky point. That would be Lions Park. If you were to draw a line from the point there all the way out to about halfway up the pier. Over the past 18 years, I've pretty much snorkeled every square inch of this area. It's all flat sand. The news guys make me crazy when they're predicting riptides. There are none. It takes a structure to make a riptide. Now there may be riptides along the pier when the waves are really high, but that's the only place. I've been out here in 6-foot waves, and you go up and down a lot, but there's no tide gonna pull you out. Now there are beaches along Michigan Avenue, or Michigan, that do have riptides, but they're pretty obvious to see when the waves are choppy and they're coming in a crisscross pattern. You best stay out of the water unless you're a really good swimmer. But today is really calm. There are not going to be any waves, so we're going to have fun. Now I found out with this camera that once it gets wet, its little ear gets plugged, and any narration is out of the question. So this is still dry. I haven't gone in the water yet. I'm going to put together a video with my narration here, and then another with splices of images, both today and previous images, and put together a pretty good collage of what's to be found down there. Over the years I've found quite a bit. I've got enough sunglasses to start a boutique, assorted hats, towels, golf balls. Oh yeah, the golf balls. See all these homes over here on the south end? Seems several of the people that live there have nothing better to do than bat golf balls way out into the lake. Golf balls are plastic. They don't belong here. They're not biodegradable. So I make a habit of collecting them. I have boxes of golf balls. If anybody wants one, contact me. We'll make a deal. There's the pier. Oh, another thing this camera does are those buoys. You see the buoys bobbing around? That's the swim area. They usually have lifeguards keeping the kiddies in the swim area. This is the end of summer, so the lifeguards are all in college now. It's open water for anybody. But those buoys are held down with a really heavy chain tied to a wheel rim. And they make an awesome sound. This camera may go deaf when its mic gets wet above water, but underwater it picks up sound amazingly well. In fact, look at the boats as far out on the horizon as you can see. Underwater, I can hear them no problem. In fact, I can hear the speedboats echo off the pier as well. No problem knowing where the boats are. The jet skis scare the hell out of me. Those go way too fast. I could stay underwater for a minute. It's very easy to come up and have one of them on my head. So when they're out and about, I generally just stay above the water surface and keep my eye on them. Looks pretty clear today though, at least for now. I could sure see why whales can hear each other clear across the ocean though. There's no problem with sound carrying through water. And this camera will pick it up, so on to the swimming. Heading down to the pier. Alright, I've walked past all the kiddies there to the far north end of Silver Beach. There's my beautiful lake. The dreaded jet skier I'm gonna have to watch. And the pier. I thought I'd add a bit. Remember when I said there's no riptides here? Oh, I lied. It does take a structure to cause a riptide, and that pier certainly qualifies as a structure. The odd thing is, if the wind and the waves are coming out of the north, the pier acts as a breakwater, and this part of the lake is actually calm. Even when waves are 6 feet deep, this part of the lake will stay calm. On the other hand, when the waves are coming out of the direction that jet skier's in right now, south by southwest, what happens is the waves will roll in, hit the pier. So you got waves coming in from that direction. They bounce off the pier, so now there's waves coming from the north. Waves will actually bounce offshore as well. So the shoreline will absorb most of the wave action. When a wave rolls in, an equal volume of water has to roll out. That would be your undertow. You have 6-foot waves rolling in, you're going to have 6-foot waves worth of water right along the bottom of the lake here, gushing out. And what happens, only periodically, is a deep hole will punch right about there, right about where those 2 orange ladders are. Let's see if I can point to it. Right about there. Now the amazing thing is, Silver Beach was once an amusement park, and on certain years the sand gets punched out of that area right down to some pavers, some big flat boulders that probably were part of the park that got thrown out in the lake as a breakwater. They're still there, so the hole will never get punched any deeper than that. That's about 12 to 15 feet deep. This year, on the other hand, the wave action has brought sand into the area, so right now it's all flat sand. The funny thing is, down in those boulders, and I have a video of it from last year I'll dig up and add to my composite, there's a golf ball happily sitting in between the stones. It's been there for decades. There are no riptides going to carry you out to sea, or that golf ball would have been blown out of there. On the other hand, this is a very treacherous area to swim in when the waves are in the right direction. Even with mask and fins, I have trouble getting through it. It's like a big vortex sucking you down. But this is the only spot, and the only time there's a problem is when there's big waves and out of the right direction. For the most part, Silver Beach is pretty awesome. And today I can see just from the bottom of the lake here, it's going to be crystal clear. So onto the water.